Hello friends, welcome back for another part of our walkthrough of Oxygen Not Included Spaced Out. We're on part 17, and this is going to be the first time that we travel to another asteroid now that we have everything stabilized here. We have very stable water, we have very stable food, our duplicants are very bored, so let's give them something to do in the meantime. While we're traveling, it's probably best if you have your duplicants just kind of like mining out the map. We could have them move stuff to our cooling setup. We could have them mine out over here and put out more space, or more space panels, more solar panels. So there's a bunch of stuff we could keep our duplicants doing here. But I'm going to pick one duplicant that I want to take. And I'm going to find whoever it is that I think would be best to be kind of by themselves. Maybe I'll take one of the generic ones. Let's take Pei. Also, what I'm going to do after we travel is I'm going to kind of respec everybody. Not to change their skills or anything, but I'm going to make them a lot more generic. So I'm going to assign Pei before we go, because when we get there, there's going to be nowhere near the amount of stuff that the duplicants are going to be used to and they're going to like here. Like the nature reserve, or the Great Hall, or their bedroom, or good food quality, or whatever. The other planet's a mess, and it's going to be a mess for a little bit until we can kind of get our duplicants there and get settled. So, yeah, just going to jiggle Pei for a little while until we get her all cleared out. In the meantime, I'm going to lower everyone's priorities back down to normal. So, at this point, I'm going to consider everybody to be a little bit more generic. And I'm going to start changing their names based upon where they are and not what kind of role that they fulfill. So, for Nisbet, for example, just going to go back to normal. You don't have to do this, but this is easier for me if I have idling or if I have problems. It's easier for me to see at a glance what planet it's happening on. So just going to get rid of all of these. And then for Pei, whenever we get back to her, we are going to change her name to reflect the planet that she's on. So it'll be... You can call it like whatever you want. It's like the swamp planet, but I like to call it the oil planet because that's mainly what we're going there for. So I will change that. Alright, Ada and Pei. Looks like Pei has been reset, I think. So, oil. I do this every time. Alright, so Pei is going to be sent over to the other planet. So let's just go here. We've already inspected it. Let's just assign Pei. She should run down here, and she should jump in the teleporter, and we should get going as soon as she gets here. So, yeah. We'll be on our way. Okay. So now when she's in there, you gotta just press the button to hit teleport, and off we go. Alright, now that we're here, let's take a look at the surrounding area. Looks like we have a whole bunch of cobalt, lots of polluted dirt. These new critters, which are called plug slugs, we're definitely going to do something with them. But I also kind of want to get my population up here as soon as possible. So let's defrost our friend so that we can get our 11th duplicant just as soon as Pei gets there. Okay, I guess we got two of them. Yay! Alright, I don't know what to do with this. Pei 2. Sure. Nice. Alright, so we have two duplicants here. Just gonna deconstruct our bin like we will always do. Then all we gotta do is really just kind of start digging. We can also start deconstructing some stuff in here too. So the background buildings are one of the things that I like to start by deconstructing because you can get some resources from that. And you don't risk kind of spilling all the stuff all over yourself. We're going to reshape basically all of this, so not going to be too worried about making a mess while we're at it. So Pei and Pei 2, just going to be at it, deconstructing some stuff here. The other thing is that you might want to do back on your home planet, or whatever we're going to call that one, your starter asteroid, is you want to make sure that your teleporters are ready to go. And by that I mean like your material teleporters. So make sure that you've activated them. And we're going to start thinking about the stuff that we want to send there too. So I want to start shipping myself some stuff on this other asteroid. So I'm going to set up another bin in my sorting area. How far over can this reach? I'm going to set up another bin in this sorting area that is just going to be for sending supplies to the other asteroid. And I'm going to put it sideways so that I know which is which. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for me to remember. guess we could go down a little bit earlier than that. There is a complaint on the other asteroid, and that is that there's no toilets, which, yes, I agree. But we will get that in just a second. Alright, let's build some toilets here really quickly, now that we actually have some materials to build stuff with. There we go. Nothing fancy. For skills, you can kind of respec your duplicants as they need it. So their morale is going to be really bad here for a little while, so I don't want to start assigning a bunch of skills and then stress them out. We'll solve that as we go. I like how she's deconstructing through the wall and through the dirt. Alright, let's go back to the other asteroid really quick. So you want to make sure that you have a way to ship yourself stuff. Yeah, I made a mess. It's not that big of a deal. And then you also want to make sure you have a way to ship stuff back. So I'm going to set this up so that when we want to send something back, it's just going to get sent in our normal shipping network. I'm going to make it on its own line, by the way, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be coming back from this other asteroid that I want. And I don't want it to clog up any of my other shipping setup. Let's get rid of these ones. So yeah, you want to set that up. The other thing that you're going to want to send to this other asteroid is water, because we will want to grow food on this asteroid, and we're just going to use bristle blossoms again, because that's the easiest thing to do. So just going to take a line of water, send it right in there. And on the other asteroid, we have to find where these actually are. So if you look around here really quickly, there's something here, I don't know what it is. Something there, I don't know what it is. There's one. Here's the input. So this is to send it back. And is this... Yeah, this is the output. So we'll want to get to those ones pretty quickly because we want to get our food regrowing here. But honestly, the more that we dig, the better off we're going to be. The other thing that I want to do while I'm here... Let me check the width of this. Okay, 26. So I'm still going to build basically the same way. Kind of in the grid pattern. In the same width because we're going to be making a lot of the same types of rooms. But I also want to create a mini pod when I'm here so that I can print stuff here. And a lot of the duplicants that I'm going to start printing are going to be printed here instead of back at home. Because this is going to kind of be its own little self-sustaining place for a little while. Eventually we will mine out everything that we need from here and go back down to just one dupe staying here. But in the meantime, if I have stuff to print, then I might as well just print it here. Because the teleporter is going to take a little while to be ready to send more duplicants over. Sorry, I'm just inspecting everything here. This is the teleport to get back. I'm not interested in sending anybody back yet, but back at home... Whoa, I don't know why I was scrolled so far over. Back at home, this is going to take a while to recharge, so let's just print some more dupes here as soon as this printing pod gets back up. The other things that we need when we first get here, we obviously need beds, so we might as well put those down. This is almost like starting the game over, so a lot of the things that we did to start the very beginning of the game are going to be present here. We're going to just want to start digging around, get to other places the best we can, and we're going to want to set up beds and bathrooms right away. So yeah, it's a lot of the same stuff. Let me prioritize this. My objective when I'm here is going to be to get down into the oil biome. It's down here. I don't think we can quite see it yet, but there's going to be a lot of water and stuff on the way too. So the first thing that I really want to do is just kind of hollow all this out and get the water to settle down towards the bottom. If I see any of these, which are swamp chards, or if I see any other food that might be here, there's like bog buckets and stuff, I might as well just keep cultivating them and harvest them when they're ready. But we're going to have to get our own food growing here, and I want to print another duplicate here. I need to activate this really quickly. Let me see how long we have until the next print. Where is it? Here we go. 0.8 cycles. Maybe we'll just stay on until that comes up. But yeah, not a whole lot of fancy stuff to talk about here. It's really just kind of expanding, making sure your duplicants can stay alive. They'll be fine with the oxalite, and the polluted dirt's going to gas off here. We will set up a power station here in just a second so that we can make sure that we have good air pressure here. Especially as we get more duplicants that are going to be coming through. So, yeah, we'll get there. Let's do this. Let me take an editing break really quickly. I'll come back as we hollow some more of this stuff out. We'll get another duplicate printed, and we'll keep going with the initial setup that we need. So, I'll be right back. Okay, made a little bit of progress, but we're ready for our duplicant to be printed. I generally will want duplicants that are very versatile, so I'm going to take auto. Yeah, this is pretty good. Super duper hard digging, supplying digging. Okay, sure. So got a third duplicant here. Got a third cot. Let me make sure that I'm still spreading them out in our schedules. Yeah, let's just move auto off this. 3, 3, 3, 3. Cool. So yeah, I mean, not a whole lot to do right here other than just to continue like you normally would when you were first starting up the game. One thing I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to grab... Oh, I need to rename auto to oil auto. I need to spec one of these for demolition, so I can just get rid of some of this stuff that's in the way. So I can have better space usage on this floor, because I might want to just put my power generators and that kind of stuff right here, instead of trying to, like, mow my way through all this junk. So, yeah, let me get that cleared, and we'll put up our power. Okay, now that we have our power up, we've expanded a little bit more. Let's get our oxygen generator for this planet, and I'm going to be using this sublimation station. It's the first time we're going to be talking about it. This is just going to help our air pressure. You can actually live here for quite a while without needing one of these explicitly, but it does get a little bit harder to manage as you add more and more duplicants here. I'm eventually going to go up to 8 duplicants here, so I'm going to have 8 duplicants here and 8 duplicants on the other asteroid. Just so we can expand quickly, and just so that we can get the stuff mined out of here as soon as possible. So just kind of digging in every direction. I could also dig over to my teleporter, because I will want to start getting supplies from the other place, such as like refined metals and things like that. Make sure to prioritize this a little bit higher. And same thing, because this is going to use polluted dirt in order to produce oxygen. I'm just going to create a couple of bins, and I'm going to request them to fill those up so that they're just walking from here to here in order to fill this up. The only thing, or the other thing that we could do is we could put some shipping stuff here, but we need refined metals first, so we need to get it to our teleporter. And we also will need to spec somebody to do that, even though we don't really have the morale to push it. So I'm just going to rely on some manual stuff for right now. We're also now dependent on sand. I'd ideally like to clean this oxygen just because it would be nicer to do that instead of relying on them just breathing the polluted oxygen. But again, we don't really have sand. So you can do one of two things if you want to keep using this. You can just breathe the polluted oxygen for right now. And you can see it should be... Oh, we're at max gas pressure. Whatever. You can just breathe the polluted oxygen, have your dupes be unhappy for a little bit, and wait until you can start shipping yourself sand, which I can do, or you can just create your own sand with a rock crusher. I probably prefer to send it via the other station, because we should have a lot of sand just sitting there already, and that won't take us too much time. Let's start prioritizing getting these things connected so we can send ourselves some stuff. Don't need to deconstruct that. Let's make sure we can actually walk over there. And the fish here, I normally would say like, oh, just get rid of them, you don't need them. But the fish here are actually pretty useful. I want to keep these here, and I want to kind of survive on the land as much as I can. So if the fish are going to give me a little bit extra, and I know they're called pacus, but they're fish, whatever. I just want to survive on whatever is already here, so they can give me a little bit of extra food. So if I don't have to send myself more water or anything like that, and they're just going to give me food slowly over time, I'd rather do that. Alright, let's activate our teleporter. We're going to need somebody that has the field research skill, so let's assign that really quick. And we're going to get over our morale requirements here pretty quick, but we're also going to get a great haul up pretty soon after this also. You not getting your skills, or what's going on here, Pay? Right? Yeah, okay. Well, I guess she's just going to take a second. Whenever she feels like getting it, we'll get this activated. I'll start sending myself some sand, so give me just a sec. Well, give her just a second. Whenever she decides to do it, I'll be right back. There we go. She got it. I was actually mixing them up again. That's what I get for having two of them. She was sleeping while we were waiting, so let's start sending ourselves some sand. So I'm just going to head back, and I'm going to specify what I want to send out of here. And most of the time, you will not want to just constantly send this. So I'm going to load this up with sand, but I need to remember to come back and disable this after a certain amount of time. So you can either do that, or you can set up some automation and like a memory toggle or something to turn it back off, but usually you can just watch it and send yourself a whole bunch and then just remember to come back and get it. And we can check the counts that we have here too. We have 268 tons, so I'm not worried about sending too much. It's going to take a while for them to get all this anyway, so yeah, we'll start sending all that stuff. Now we can start getting the rooms up that are going to help our morale the most. I'm not going to worry too much about preserving like plants here for a nature reserve. I think if you live off planet, you kind of just accept a lower quality of life. So yeah, kind of rough, but we'll call that good. Let's also make sure that we are piling up our polluted dirt here as much as we can, just to reduce the travel time. All right, let's get a great hall up. So let's just set up a room like this. Now that we've got a bunch of this stuff out of the way. There we go, pretty basic. I mean, you're kind of just going to be making stuff on the fly. There's no, like, fancy way to do this. You've only got a few duplicants, and you're kind of roughing it on another planet, so whatever. Alright, so we'll get this up, and I will finish out this Great Hall. And I think once I finish that Great Hall, we'll call this video good, so give them a second just to build all this stuff out. It's going to take a little bit since they're so slow. In the meantime, if you can send another duplicant from here, that would be ideal. So, oh, we can. Okay. Let's get somebody scrambled and we'll send them over. How about... Oh, I have 2 Adas also. Well, I'll figure out off camera. We'll send somebody. Okay, almost done with our Great Hall. The annoying thing with Spaced Out, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but I have sand, but this says I don't have sand. There's some problems with how this tracks resources sometimes. Okay, now they're finally coming over here. I don't know what took them so long. I told them to do that a long time ago. Okay, anyway, I just have to complain. Let's grab another duplicant while they're in the middle of doing that. Ooh, this steel is so tempting. Let's see. These are all not great. Oh well. Jean, you're part of the team now. You're also known as Oil Jean. Print. Alright, 4 duplicants here. We're starting to get a pretty good duplicant population. We also have a row cleared, so I'm going to create a space for food once they're done building out this Great Hall. Also, back at the other place, I think we've sent ourselves enough sand for now, so we can just turn it off. So, just going to uncheck it, and there you go. Pretty basic. So, now that we have a good amount, should be in pretty good shape. Oh, also I need to send one more duplicant here now that we're ready. I did scrub someone. I scrubbed Oil Ada, I renamed her. Also, Beta got renamed so that we have unique names now. Can't have anybody with the same name. Alright, let's send Ada. Should come down here. Here she comes. Just gonna jump in, and let's send. So yeah, within a handful of cycles, we have a few duplicants here. We have 5, obviously. I'm going to change this into a barracks also. So I will get this building, just kind of building the same standard rooms that you normally would. I know this is going to be a little bit longer video than normal, but I'm okay with that. Since it's the first time we've really traveled. Let's set up the rest of our Great Hall really quickly. And since we know we're going to have 8 duplicants here, we'll just create 8. Yeah, that is 8. Spaces for them to eat. And we should also create a place to put a plant, so some kind of furniture, and our water cooler, which we need to disable. And that'll at least give us a Great Hall. That'll help us raise our morale so we can spec these duplicants a little bit more aggressively. Especially the first pay that came over here with us. And you can just plant a mallow seed here. Those are just native to this planet, so these things you can definitely plant. One thing before we stop this video, though, is I do want to get our food going. So I am sending myself water, which you can tell if you start to run a line out from this. If we go back to our other one, it is sending water to us. So let's find it. Here we go. Yeah, it's all hooked up, set up to send water. So we'll just grab it on this end, and we'll also send ourselves some seeds to start growing some bristle blossoms. So let's do that too. Seed, blossom seed, there we go. And we don't need that many, so once it sends the first few packets, I'm just gonna stop it. Oh, it looks like it sent them all anyway. Whatever. We don't really need them on this planet anyway. So yeah, getting everything sent. Let's get our hydroponic farm tiles up like we typically would. I'm going to also leave the same spaces that I would for ventilation. So I think it's these two, if I was seeing that correctly. Yep. So just set up something like this. We're also going to get into the ice biomes here. So once we start cracking into those to get the sleet wheat, to create sleet wheat here, we will do that too. So that's kind of the idea of settling, is just kind of get a few rooms going. The same rooms you would typically do on... Is there a door here? What's going on? I guess I can't build a door while that thing's sleeping. Never noticed that before. Alright, anyway, yeah, just get the same basic rooms you would have, your barracks, your great hall. Get a bathroom up as soon as you can, too. So we're about to have... I mean, we do have water flow here, but getting food is more important than getting a bathroom. So I'll kind of just polish this up a little bit for the next couple cycles, and then we'll come back and keep working on it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you back here really soon. Hope you enjoyed the longer video. Anyway, that's all I got. Okay, bye.